Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to the 2023 Caroline Fire Rescue Award Ceremony. Thank you for coming out tonight and giving us your time on a weeknight. We know that these nights can be somewhat valuable to people. At this time, I'm going to call Chief Loftus up to give the opening comments.
Good afternoon. I'm getting older, so I got to put glasses on in order to do this. This is our second attempt here. We tried a banquet-style dinner for our award ceremony this year, and it wasn't to be. We couldn't get enough people to sign up for that. So we have this event here this year. We haven't really sat down as an organization and recognized our own in person since 2020. And since then, a lot has happened. Obviously, COVID has happened to us, but a lot has happened in the department. So I want to take a little bit of time and tell you where the department is today and where it's going in the future. Because in that period of time from 2020 to today, with the support of our elected officials and county administrator and our brothers in Brown and the sheriff's office, we've made a lot of progress in fire rescue in Caroline County. So I kind of want to share that a little bit with you. On the apparatus front, right now we have replacement apparatus for Engine 1, Bowling Green, Engine 2, Ladysmith, Engine 6, Upper Caroline, en route and should be here this year, this calendar year, and early next year. New additions to our fleet, we have Ladder 10, which will be here in a couple of years, Engine 10, Ambulance 17. Some other replacement trucks, Brush 1, Brush 6, Brush 5 will all be replaced in short order this year or next year. And we've added some additional emergency management vehicles to our system. Point of distribution trailer 1 and 2, which really aided us in COVID so that we can do our vaccinations in our drive-through clinics. A sheltering trailer that houses cots, blankets, sleeping bags, and now we can roll into a shelter and be ready to go. Last year we had a winter sheltering event. They caught us a little bit off guard, so we're prepared for that moving down the road. And interestingly enough, we bought traffic control signs. I thought they were a good idea. Chief Garnett thought they were a good idea. Apparently the sheriff's office does too. So we've gotten a lot of use out of those signs. As you travel up and down Caroline, you see us advertising for our open positions, our shot clinics, food bank, whatever it is. We are getting a lot of use out of those, reaching out to the public. With the help of Major Mosier and some help from some citizens of Caroline, we built a 4-bay pole barn to house some of this new equipment at a very reduced cost. Station improvements, a lot of our stations are old, okay? That's just the way it is. But significant improvement has been made to Rescue 2 by the volunteers in that company. Almost $1 million probably in improvement in that facility. Rescue 1, we put a lot of money in that in the last year to get that better off for our career staff and volunteer staff. Company 2, redoing the fire escape on the outside of the building. Company 5, we're beginning to do some modifications to that in the upcoming year. What else we got going on? We're getting ready to build a new station in Sparta. So that will be a large facility to house career staff down the road and volunteers up until that point. We have a station underway in Carmel Church. I went by there today, trusses are up. Sheeting should be on the top today for the day side. And we look to occupy that station sometime in December with 15 career staff. And that'll be our first foray into a dedicated engine. Right now, everything we do is a cross-staffed ambulance and engine, but with Carmel Church, we will have one dedicated engine crew with 3 people and 1 ambulance crew at that station. And once Ladder 10 has arrived, that engine company will cross-staff that ladder or engine. Looking down the road, we are looking for land to redo the Port Royal station. So we're looking for a piece of AP Hill. Just want to throw that out there. The Colonel's here. And we're looking for land for Bowling Green. So both of those stations down the road, we know are going to have to be done. So again, we're trying to look forward. On the training side, some big changes for us. We continue to do our volunteer Fire Academy in the evening hours and our EMT class in the evening hours. headed up by people like Keith Buchanan and Chip Hartle for us, and Captain Bonham. Currently, we have 15 Caroline students in our EMT class at night, so that's a very good number for us. Now we have a recruit program, and that's headed up by Lieutenant Burrill, and we have 18 recruits in that program. Hopefully, when Carmel Church Station is ready to open, we'll have graduated that full class, I hope, and they'll be ready to go to hit the street serving the community. A few other things, we were able to put in some LP gas training props, our first live fire props in the county. We have both cars, LP tanks, and a few other things. We expect to put a maze prop in order this year. That should be ready in the next 2 months. And equipment on the EMS side, GTACs and some other medical equipment for training has been purchased and out there for our folks. We can buy all the trucks in the world, right? But they don't put fires out, people do. So people are our strongest asset. Right now in our system, we maintain a strong volunteer count of 128 volunteers. And I say that's a strong count because each one of those has to now give 75 hours. So we're getting quality time from those volunteers and quality service from those folks. Career staffing, we're at 65 full-time employees and about 17 part-time, and the majority of that was brought on this year for Carmel Church. We do have a grant out there for a SAFER grant, hopefully to add 9 people to Upper Caroline for staffing. Some positives, spring school this year, headed up by our volunteer group that coordinates that. Excellent numbers, about 220 firefighters from across the state and area were brought into Caroline for a weekend of excellent training, and 40 of those were Caroline folks themselves, so excellent job there. And lastly, in training, we have a new recruitment and retention officer, Deanne Andrews. She had a baby, so she hasn't been here much, but we expect her in the upcoming year to do great things for us. Operationally, just give you a couple statistics here. Overall, both fire and EMS calls, the department ran about 6,100 calls last calendar year, which equates to about 11,000 unit responses from our different stations. And we transported 2,600 patients to hospitals. Our number one hospital destination is Spotsylvania, followed by Bon Secours and Hanover and VCU. So we do have we have a section of interstate through us. We do go to a lot of car accidents. But out of the 4,000 EMS incidents, only 4% of those are car accidents with injuries. So we feel like we go to a lot of car accidents, but really it's only about 4% of our total EMS call volume. I would like to share one interesting statistics on our engine responses. The number one, or the busiest engine in Caroline County, is our reserve engine. And we knew that was going to happen. We ended up with board support being able to buy a new engine for our reserve truck, but our reserve truck last year ran 960 calls. Our next closest to that was Engine 1 and Engine 2 tit for tat at about 570 calls. So that reserve engine has paid off for the citizens of Caroline. So to the board members that supported that, Mr. Culley, thank you. That was the right decision not to use old apparatus as the reserve. We hope in the upcoming year with the replacements of some of the older engines, we can see those numbers flip around and the reserve kind of go into that reserve status. With that, I won't belabor you too long here. You didn't come up here to hear me speak. So I just want to leave you with this. The fire service is a family. At the end of the day, we don't always get along in that family. Brother and sisters fight. But at the end of the day, we move forward as one. We include our brothers and sisters, our cousins, and the sheriff's office is a part of that family, and all the outside agencies that support us throughout the year. So with that, love your family, work super hard, and live your passion. Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to call Board of Supervisors member Jeff Seeley for just a few brief comments.
Good evening, everyone. You know, when I look out across the room, I think about all the board meetings we spend up here sitting, but I will tell you that those board meetings in the last 2 years have involved a lot of discussions about fire and rescue in the sheriff's office and buying equipment. As Chief Loftus read off the list of what's to come, what's on order, and how long it's going to take, the board has also said, Chief, when does this stuff arrive? Because I hear engine 1's out, engine 2's out, you know, we have equipment problems here. It is a problem we face everywhere today. In the industry I'm in, we're looking for metal to bend to make parts that we can't get. We're waiting 6, 8, 10 months, 12 months, some parts 18 months to get. This environment has not been very friendly to those of us as users and those of us that consume things. So I do appreciate everybody's patience in the equipment situation that we're in. And we as a board do keep up with Chief Loftus, asking him, when is this going to get here? When is that going to get here? When are we going to move forward with some of this equipment? You know, the brush trucks we talked about last night, we've actually gone to a new method to order those and procure those through other sources. We're trying to support the folks, the volunteers and the career folks that we have in Caroline County that are greatly appreciated by the board. I will say to you that I get compliments frequently on the responses from fire and rescue, from a number of folks. You visit them in their biggest hour of need, and those folks do appreciate you when you show up to their door. I'm sorry that they don't always get to you, but I will tell you that in the time of need, whether it's fire and rescue or the sheriff's office, the folks in the community appreciate you more than you'll ever know. So from the Board of Supervisors, I would just like to say thank you to every one of you, both volunteer and career staff, fire and rescue, and the sheriff's office. And thanks for all you do, and hopefully we have a continued safe and sound year. Thanks. Thank you very much.
Now finally, before we start our awards ceremony, or the actual giving of the awards, I did want to take a moment to welcome or recognize Jeff Black of our Board of Supervisors, Mr. Cully, our County Administrator, our new Sheriff Scott Mosher, the Base Commander from Fort A.P. Hill, and Chief Tom Acacia from A.P. Hill.
Hey, I'm here
Oh, hello, ma'am. I almost forgot our wonderful Board of Supervisors member from the Port Royal District. Sorry. So, at this time, we will be recognizing years of service for our members that have reached a new milestone. We will be recognizing them by company. This time, I'd like to call District Chief Art Hooley up to assist with giving out the awards for Company 1. While Chief Hooley comes up, I'm also going to take a moment to recognize one of our members who was not able to make it here due to an illness, and that is Wayne Collison, who has 10 years with Rescue 1. Justin Chenault, 5 years of service. Jacob Trevette, 10 years of service. Tamika Bird, 15 years of service. Rachel Roundy, 20 years of service. Heather Gilbert, 20 years of service. Brian Marmaduke, 20 years of service. Unfortunately, none of those members were able to be here tonight, but Chief Hooley is accepting their awards in their absence. At this time, I'd like to call Chief Buchanan from the Ladysmith Volunteer Fire Company up to help with the awards for Company 2. Chris Buchanan, 5 years service. Nathan Richards, 10 years service. Christopher Brown, 20 years service. At this time, I'd like to call Lisa Street forward to receive the awards for the Rescue 2 members that are not present. Sarah Colley, 5 years service. Kevin Rickens, 10 years service. Vince Allen, 15 years service. Kermit Price, 15 years service. Marie Farmer, 30 years service. This time I'll call Assistant District Chief David Jenkins forward to assist with the Company 3 awards.
Come on, Dave.
Stayed up too late last night.
Getting old is not persistent.
Prime example of why the time our volunteers give is so important and valuable is a lot of these people are actually on shift working in other departments and other jobs and aren't present because of that. William Dodd, 5 years of service. John Wilkerson, 10 years of service. David Jenkins III, 25 years of service. Henry Dietrich, 45 years of service. This time I'll ask Lauren May to receive the award for Wendy Jones from Company 5 for 5 years of service. Now for our career staff. Jared Ray, 5 years service. Benjamin Raines, 5 years service. Nicholas Pasker, 5 years service. Kelly Burrill, 5 years service. Philip Taylor, 5 years service.
Good.
Jason Loftus, 10 years service.
Bonus.
Sean Butcher, 15 years service. At this time, I'm going to read the unit citation award that we'll be giving this year. Actually, most of the people here were on that call and are here to be recognized for that. So, on August 19, 2022, crews were dispatched to a motor vehicle accident involving a bus on Rogers Clark Boulevard. Battalion 1 and units from Caroline County Sheriff's Office were first on scene and determined the incident to be a mass casualty incident. Additional personnel for Caroline County Fire Rescue, Fort A.P. Hill Fire Department, Ladysmith Volunteer Fire Company, Port Royal Volunteer Fire Department, Virginia State Police Area 44, and Caroline County Public Schools Transportation Division responded to assist with the incident. Battalion 1 began triage for occupants on the bus. It was discovered that one occupant was entangled under the dash and blocking the exit door. The driver of the bus was unable to self-extricate due to injuries. A window was opened and occupants who were able began exiting the bus and were triaged. Additional units were assigned tasks upon their arrival. Chief 21 began leading operations while Battalion 1 focused on overall command of the incident. Various members of CCFR and CCSO assisted Medic 210, Ambulance 312, and Medic 531 with triage, patient care, and transport. Members from various crews were reassigned to Medic 228 to assist with patient care and transport. Squad 1 and 126 worked to extricate the two patients that were entrapped. Once extricated, the driver was transported to VCU by Medic 210. The second patient was transported to the landing zone where the patient care is transferred to Life Evac. Life Evac transported the patient also to VCU. Occupants on the bus who denied injuries were loaded onto a Caroline County Public Schools bus and taken to Chesapeake to meet with another bus to continue their journey home. This call was a prime example of multi-agency cooperation and working well together. This time I'm going to call forward the different groups that were able to assist on the incident. When I get all of you from your organization up, if you could just take a moment, we're going to try and get a picture of you while you're still on the stage. Caroline County Sheriff's Office, Captain Stacy Carey, Lieutenant Chad Roselle, Brad Franklin, Benjamin Doucette, Chris Hall, Maurice Clifton, Matthew Keeley, Dennis Taylor, Christopher Williams, Jesse Daly, Manny Dipp, Jason Elliott, Bo Taylor, Charles Ryan, Sheriff Mosier, and Major Nutter. At this time, I'd like to call forward Eric Childs from the CCPS Transportation Division. Mr. Childs is the director of that division and was the person who personally responded with a bus to transport the patients, the non-patients to Chesapeake. Okay. Yes, sir. We'll do that then. Battalion 1, Captain Brett Hoffenberger. Chief 21, Keith Buchanan. Training 1, Captain Ed Bonham. Medic 126, Brandy Joyner, Derek Smith. Medic 210, Samantha Rowley, Jacob Geisenhoff, William Hall. Medic 228, Sean Daniels. Ambulance 312, Dolores Heath, David Jenkins Jr. Medic 531, David Purrier, Daniel Farrell. Squad 1, Lieutenant Benjamin Raines, Michael Huffman. Squad 2, Lieutenant Edward Melton, Denver Bonham. Utility 1, David Brothers. Fort AP Hill Medic 7, Life Evac 1, and the Virginia State Police Area 44 officers.
Casey, you're going to have to arrange.
I know. You guys are gonna have to be a little friendly, keeping everybody long ways, so short people in the front, taller people in the back.
Casey, you're going to have to look at.
Come this way, everybody kind of get together a little bit.
At least 2 rows, right?
State police needs to come in a little bit, and then Ed, you're gonna have to.
Hey, Casey,
Yes.
I would put them on the edge of the stage and bring some down here on the floor. You'll get a better picture.
Some of you want to come forward and stand on the edge, and then some come down on this level.
Okay.
Everybody on the edge,
Yeah.
please.
And if everybody would turn sideways so that you're all facing either this way or this way. Everybody turn and then move in closer. Get in there, man. You can go on the other side of David.
Come on, we saved you a spot.
That should be a better picture.
1, 2, 3. One more for good luck. Awesome.
How'd that work?
It's good. Thank you, Mr. Shealy.
You just gotta move everybody away. It's a much better picture when everybody's up front. That made it easier.
Yes.
And you can probably see everybody. You just have to get your tongue in there.
Right, at this time, I'd like to recognize the volunteer top call runner for EMS hours. Lisa Street, 383 hours. At this time, I'd like to call forward the volunteer top call runner for fire hours, Marsh Calgar, 2,342 hours. At this time, I'd like to recognize the volunteer top call runner for actual EMS responses, Lisa Street, 42 calls. And at this time, I'd like to represent the volunteer fire top call runner for responses, Marsh Calgar, 173 calls. The top call runner for Caroline Fire Rescue career side is Samantha Baumgartner with 684 calls. Unfortunately, she was not able to be here tonight. This time, we're going to recognize the platinum members of Caroline Fire Rescue. These members are members much like Marsh Calgar, who have spent an exceptional amount of time at their stations. These are basically are on calls. These are basically the 5 people in the volunteer side of our agency that spent the most time serving the citizens of the county. Marsh Calgar, 2,342 hours. Keith Buchanan, 1,280 hours. Cody Romans, 701 hours. Mason Hicks, 671 hours. And Christopher Buchanan, 660 hours.
stay behind.
I was,
It's all right.
my bad. Sorry, Chris. You look great.
All right, our last three awards are of the year awards. And the first one that we will be recognizing will be the Volunteer Firefighter of the Year. The recipient of the 2022 Volunteer Firefighter of the Year Award is no stranger to Caroline Fire Rescue. As a volunteer with Ladysmith Volunteer Fire Company, he has demonstrated dedication to the company, and not only in the time he takes away from his family, but in that he is extremely professional in responding to, operating at, and returning from incidents. He serves as the Vice President of the Ladysmith Volunteer Fire Company. He has also taken on several projects such as painting the bays. This volunteer always has a positive attitude and is willing to assist with training and helping other members. He works well with volunteers and career staff. In fact, he has been such an asset to Caroline Fire Rescue that he has, since being selected for this award, come to work as a career provider for the department. It's with pleasure that we present the 2022 Firefighter of the Year Award to Christopher Buchanan. The next award is the Volunteer EMS Provider of the Year. This year's recipient of the 2022 Volunteer EMS Provider of the Year has served the citizens of Caroline for 43 years as a volunteer with Ladysmith Volunteer Rescue Squad. During that time, she has exemplified what it means to be a dedicated member of a fire rescue system. She has served LVRS in multiple administrative and operational roles, to include captain. Currently serving as the squad's first lieutenant this year, she served in multiple roles and committees, while still managing to be the top EMS runner for calls responded to and volunteer duty hours. It is my pleasure to present this award for this year's Volunteer EMS Provider of the Year to Lisa Street. For our final award is the Career Member of the Year. The Career Member of the Year award is presented each year to an individual who has gone above and beyond their normally assigned duties. This year's recipient is no exception. The individual has been a valuable asset to the Caroline Fire Rescue team. In addition to being an exceptional firefighter paramedic, he has assisted in a variety of roles to include recruitment efforts, precepting new ALS providers, and being a part of the EMS QA/QI team. He's also helped with servicing our EMS reporting computers, Zoll defibrillators, and AEDs. He is a constant advocate for system improvement and is always willing to be a part of the solution rather than just the identification of the problem. This individual continuously demonstrates a strong work ethic and dedication to our department. It is with great pleasure that I present the 2022 Career Member of the Year Award to firefighter paramedic David Brothers. At this time, that concludes our ceremony. I'd like to thank everyone for being here and to invite everyone for refreshments in our EOC. We even have a door prize for everybody that comes in. Come on in.